Hi, everyone. It's Lisa here, and I want to talk about when the last time it was that you had fun. When's the last time you had fun? So, if you have a phone in your hand or you have access to a pen and paper, um, there's some times when I want you to jot a few things down during this session. So, let's get started. So, as women, we've been held down, held back, held to these unrealistic standards, and it binds us in fear and inadequacy. And when I say the word fun, I wanted to bring up this question: when's the last time that you had fun? And I'm not talking about watching a movie and laughing, and I'm not talking about texting with a friend and exchanging memes, because I do that all the time with my friends and it's fun, but it's not the fun I'm talking about. I'm talking about the screaming, laughing, hugging community. Let it all out. Let yourself be loud, tears running down your face. Oh my God, I'm going to pee my pants. Um, the kind of fun that you have when you're in total alignment with who you are. Um, the kind of fun that there's no restrictions, no schedules, no shame, no judgment. So when? When was the last time that you had fun in alignment like that? Jot it down, write it down. So, over the past few years, it's been completely obvious. I don't have to say it, but our fun has been affected, right? But if you were feeling stuck or lost or powerless or overwhelmed before the pandemic, those feelings have probably increased. And if you're like most women I know, then you have this urging in your soul and you're ready to have some fun. So, the time has come for you to really, I mean, as you can tell with all the speakers that we've had today, the time has come for you to really begin listening to what your soul is urging you to discover. If you're disconnected and long to remember who you were before you were told what to think, how to behave, and you were quieted down before the world stopped any fun we had left in us by keeping us isolated with only our phones and computers to access the outside world. Uncovering your truth, finding what it is that gets you into alignment. No, let me say, finding what it is that gets you into alignment with your truth is your quest. You want to come back to you. You want to step into a space of self-worth and self-love and self-esteem. But as I talked about earlier, it's time to unlearn some of that stuff that was taught to you by those who weren't able to disagree or rebel. Those messages, those beliefs, those dogmas, they were never really yours. You can release them and you can move powerfully towards the real you, even if you can't remember who she is or you're still evolving into her. So write this down, the answer to this. What does it mean to you to have fun? Okay. What does it mean to you? So, why do we stop ourselves from having fun? Most of us want to have fun. It seems like it's not as easy as it used to be, right? There are many reasons: guilt, lack of time, fear, perceived inappropriateness, people controlling us, our own negative thoughts and beliefs, a pandemic, of course, right? So let's talk about those things for a minute. So guilt. Guilt is what you feel about fun is when I can't have fun because other people aren't having fun, or they can't have fun, so I can't have fun. Um, for instance, I want to go out this weekend with my girlfriends and hang out on Saturday and do that kind of stuff, but I can't because my husband's home and he's not going to be having any fun. So it's really not fair, and I feel really guilty about it. Lack of time, because your commitment to others won't allow you to have fun. So your commitment to your kids, your commitment to your husband, commitment to your job, commitment to your church, commitment to your social group, whatever that is, you've overcommitted and you have no time to give yourself pleasure. Fear. Fear. What is fear? What are we talking about? We talk about fear like, I'm afraid to do something new. I'm afraid to try something that I wanted to try. Um, Bungee jumping looks like fun, but I'm afraid because uh, I don't have anyone to go with me and I don't want to do it myself. And I would be too, there's lots of things going on. So I'm going to stop there. Perceived inappropriateness. This is something when, because others around us cannot have fun, that we can't have fun, right? So, how many times did a parent tell you that's inappropriate when you're like, I don't know, laughing in church or, something, but you're having fun, but it's inappropriate. Um, Someone controlling us, right? If you're a woman and you're in any kind of narcissistic or controlling or abusive relationship, right? You have someone monitoring our movements, our money, holding us down, pushing you down, and I don't mean physically, but it could be, but making you feel bad about yourself, like you're too loud. Oh, that's crazy. You're embarrassing me. Those kinds of messages. Our own thoughts, negative thoughts and beliefs that are taught to us by others. Like, oh, you're a mom. You can't do that anymore. Let's see. Yeah, you have to get your work done before you have fun. You know, and then the pandemic, obviously, there's something that directly affected our ability to have fun. And, you know, this sense of isolation that we had during that time that was very, um, very, what do I want to say? Like critical to how we felt about having fun because we kind of forgot about it, right? And then thinking about the future or the past, right? Carrying those things around, worrying about the future, or thinking about something that happened to you in the past all the time. I can't have fun. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving enough because I'm whatever, fill in the blank, whatever it is that you're thinking about. So let's talk about, we talked about guilt. Other people aren't having fun, so I can't. This happens a lot in when there are some kind of money constraints or, um, you know, everyone else let's say everyone else is at work. Oh, here's a perfect example. Taking vacation. Years ago, I didn't take vacation for a year. I worked in this job and I didn't take vacation for years because nobody else took vacation. We were all workaholics and we were all doing this. And I felt like if I did take vacation, everybody else is going to have to stay and work and pick up my slack or whatever. So that was the guilt playing in. We talked about lack of time. Fear. Like, do you ever get this idea that you want to try something new, and then the first thing that happens is you have these disempowering thoughts about it, like you can't do it, you're not good enough, somebody will laugh at you. um, these are limiting beliefs, and we talked a lot about that at the conference, and just about every person that came on today talked about these limiting beliefs. um, when I have people say, "Oh, you're so lucky you could paint. I'm an artist. You're so lucky you can paint. I can't do that. I wish I could, but I am no good at it." Well, how do you know you're no good at it? Have you tried it? Well, no, I just know I wouldn't, I just make a mess of everything. I couldn't do it. Um, well, I used to feel that way when I was a kid, but kept doing it because I liked it. And then, I had a teacher, and then, but just like with everything else, you have to learn how to do something, but you don't have to learn how to do it to enjoy it, right? You can enjoy the learning process. You can have fun while you're learning. And sometimes when you finally get that courage to start and you do it, somebody might come along and insult you or make one comment. You finally do it, and you take a picture, you take a video, and you post it, and then somebody comes along and has to say something crappy to you, and that just sends you spiraling back down, and then forget it. I'm not going to do that anymore, um, because you know what people think is important, right? But you can get past that. Um, but what if you could do something for the first time and never fail and allow yourself to have fun and not care about what other people thought you were doing? Would you try it? Well, you can. You just have to change your thinking. Okay. You have to decide that having fun is just for you and no one else. You have to look at what scares you the most. Um, you might make a mistake. People will laugh. You'll get embarrassed. And then you'll realize the worst critic out there in the whole world is you. Because really, nobody else really cares. Honestly, nobody else cares. And if someone does criticize you, it's their own issues. I mean, people don't come at you and say terrible things unless they're feeling it themselves. So, when people come at you and have negative things to say, they're projecting whatever it is that they're feeling and they're going through. So let's put fear into perspective, okay, around having fun. So you don't have to show anyone. If you painted or drew or something, you could throw it away and do it again if you don't like it. And more importantly, you could do it just to have fun and experience it. And you don't have to be perfect at everything you do. I mean, that's another big part of the fear that we feel as women, is that sense of perfection. We always have to do it perfectly, or why would we even do it? If it's not going to be perfect, why would we even do it? Because the fear of criticism, the fear of someone laughing, the fear of doing it wrong has us frozen sometimes, right? Um, but if you can take on this, I don't have to be perfect at everything I do, because there is no perfect. There is no perfect. That's the key. When you hear the little voice inside your head saying something like, you can't do it, think to yourself, is that really true? Or am I afraid to do it? Right? Is it fear that created that thing because I heard once that, or that thing that you heard once, like that thing that somebody said you couldn't do it. Here's an example of an art teacher saying, you shouldn't be, you'll never be an artist. Your drawings and your paintings are so bad. You'll never be an artist. So is that what you're hearing? And you're believing that without actually trying it? Or, that's just an example. But here's another thing I want you to write down do you carry around a fear that was perpetuated by someone else telling you a false message, and you haven't tried that thing because of that message? So that's something you have to kind of think about while I'm talking here, but think about that and write it down, okay? And when we shift our perspective, it's really just a shift, right? We can release that self-judgment. We can accept our own beautiful uniqueness in every single thing we do. Great. You do it that way. Well, I do it this way, and this is my way. And this way makes me happy. If we can connect to those fears and learn to see things from a different perspective, then we can relax and we can play and we can have fun. Okay. So let's talk about perceived inappropriateness or someone controlling us. So I've been an artist since I can remember, and everything that involves creating, whether it's painting, drawing, music, singing, coloring, puzzles, interior design, furniture restoration. It doesn't matter what it is that's artsy and creative. Like, I love doing it. Makes me so happy and I think it's fun. Like, I could sit literally in my studio for hours and not eat and not drink anything because I'm so immersed, I'm so connected, and I'm having so much fun just on my own with my own stuff that just raises my vibration and brings me joy all the time. If I could use anything that I could use my creativity for to create something, that was for me. My whole life I've been like that. So I've always tried to do creative things in my spare time because I love it. And even when I was a kid, but I had a mother who believed that you were better seen and not heard, and that if you were just hanging around the house, you're going to get put to work because idle hands, blah blah blah. I don't know. She spoke in acronyms or in idioms, and sometimes I just had no idea what she's talking about. But she'd put you to work, and you better not complain, right? So I spent a lot of time outside playing, and as I grew older, I busied myself with jobs and sports and Girl Scouts and community service and all kinds of stuff, which at times had that aspect of creativity, but for the most part, no, it kind of took me away from that. And then once I left home, I started down the path of all of the things that I needed to do that society had trained me for, right? Looking for the partner and buying the house and getting the job and going to college and all those things. So once I left home, I kept looking for this partner of my dreams because I couldn't get started with anything else unless I had this partner. And because I didn't have the best role models for relationships, it's exactly what I found is the not a good partner, not a good relationship. So I didn't pick up a paintbrush or any of my usual outlets for 17 years. I did the good girl thing. I got married, I bought a house, went to college, I had a career, all of those things, not in that order, but all of those things. And got into a relationship that was very controlling. I spent my days hearing negative messages, being called names. My movements were monitored, my money was monitored. I was too loud, I was too crazy, I was embarrassing him, on and on and on. Shortly after my divorce, I called my parents because I was spinning and I didn't have a direction to go and I didn't know how to have fun anymore. I didn't know what made me happy. So I called them and said, "Hey, what did I used to do for fun when I was a kid?" And they responded with, all the creative activities I just talked about when I was a kid, that brought me joy. And I had really forgotten about them, the painting, the music, the, whatever else. So I drove to the store and the art supply store and I bought a canvas and I bought some paints and a paintbrush. And that was my first step, the first step I took. And I poured myself into this place just completely. I lost track of time and I was having fun again. I was literally enjoying myself every minute of that. So when things we love stop being fun, or we stop being able to access those things, then we've stopped because we aren't telling the truth. We aren't telling the truth to ourselves. We aren't telling the truth to other people, right? I wasn't being truthful to me or to others or to my relationship or to my relationship with self, even. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was in survival mode. It wasn't my true self. It was my conditional self, right? I was who I needed to be at any point of time during the day. I was who I needed to be at my job. I was who I needed to be with the kids and their teachers. Who I needed to be at home, and I wasn't being authentic in my communications, in my intentions. And with all of that, I didn't have a clear conscience. So how could I how can I have fun without that clear conscience, right? My guilt and shame about being in an abusive relationship and wanting to be out of it sometimes crippled me in fear. So until we stop being controlled by others' actions, by their thoughts or their words, we're not going to allow ourselves to have fun. Is there something in your life? So I want to ask you this. Is there something in your life that has stopped being fun for you? Is there something that you have stopped communicating around because it's not fun anymore, and there seem to be those restrictions or expectations around that? So think about this. Is there something in your life that stopped being fun because you're not telling the truth to yourself or others? Okay. Another way we stop having fun actually piggybacks on the previous message of controlling. It's our own negative thoughts and beliefs that are taught to us by others, right? You can't have fun if you're a mom. You got to get your work done. You can't have fun. You have work to do. It's something that stopped us from having fun. So, many people throw fun out of the equation of their lives because they think being an adult comes first and fun just fits in occasionally and almost whenever it shows up. Or worse yet, we believe that we don't deserve to have fun. But the truth is, there's something we've forgotten, and that is life balance, right? In life, in all that we do, there has to be balance. It's just the universal way. Um, and that includes work and play, fun. So, to put it plainly, having fun keeps you sane amidst the stresses and demands of daily life. Okay. When we're having fun, we're naturally feeling happier because we've got dopamine squirting out instead of cortisol. And it's that, 3 p.m. Snickers bar feeling that you get. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm having fun. You forget time. You, you know, you forget sometimes, like me, I forget to eat. I forget because I'm just like in the zone. I'm having fun. Um, but think about it. Life would be too miserable if we wiped out every aspect of fun. And we had to do that, right, for the last couple of years. And at first we were like, okay, well, we're in the house. We're going to figure out how to have fun. Oh, we're going to play this game. We're going to play that game. And da, da, da. And we thought it was going to end. And then here we are 2.5 years later, and we're still dealing with stuff, right? So it would what I had asked, I wanted to ask this question, like, how are you dealing with it? Or are you dealing with it at all? Right? Because if I had asked you 2.5 years ago, if you were locked down for 2.5 years, could you fathom on how to have fun every single day for the next 2.5 years? And you'd probably say, no, what are you talking about, crazy lady? So that's why I always try to inject as much fun in my life as possible, and I want to tell you how to have some more fun too. But one of the reasons, or it's sad that we're not having as much fun as we should or as we could, right? There are many reasons that we aren't taking the fun train, as I call it, but some common themes that um, that well, I shouldn't say common themes, but some of the things that we've been doing that we consider fun now isn't really fun. So let's talk about this. Shopping, eating, drinking, playing video games. Those things, unless they're in sort of this culture of us cultivating fun, those are just really bad substitutes for fun, you know. Um, because no matter what the source is, when we've been locked down, I mean, it's been our only source of fun, right? So it could be costly to always shop to have fun. Could be bad for your health to use food and alcohol all the time. But these remedies aren't rewarding because it's fake fun. I'm laughing because it's like fake fun, fake news, fake fun. It's not real fun. Like the fun that makes you laugh so hard your sides hurt, and it's usually done with people that you love and love you, and it's you know it's just not healthy for you. It's a temporary fix. So are you answer this question, are you regularly engaging in fake fun? Okay, if so, I'm going to give you some suggestions. These are just tiny little suggestions that you could do now that we can have people over our house and we can go out and do things. Let's host a game night. Start a game night. Weekly, you have your friends over and you play a game and everybody picks a different game. Somebody's in charge every week and you come over. So I'm sure, because we've done it, that you will laugh so hard your sides will hurt and you will forget everything else around you except for what's happening right there. And that's being mindful. So that's important. Go ice skating or roller skating or ride a bike or um, visit a national park or, something like that that just gets you out, gets you moving, and is something that you've haven't done before. Um, and just have some fun, laugh and see things and talk to people. Host a girls' night in, right? Have a if well, you could be married too. I mean, if your husband doesn't care, have a sleepover, have all the girls over and watch a fun movie and eat snacks and just commute, just have that community. Um, Go on a date with your beloved. Go on a date. Go out. Plan something. Plan something that you think is fun and go and do it. I think one of the mistakes we make is planning something that we think they will like, and then you're always going to be disappointed because your expectations are uh, never matched, right? They're never matched. So do something that you think is fun, and I guarantee the people around you who love you are going to be happy if you're happy. They're going to be happy and in joy and having fun. If you're having fun, head to the movies with your family. Um, you know, pick up a creative hobby like painting, knitting, sewing, photography. If you haven't tried it before and you want to try it, look at your local community college or in on Eventbrite or in the marketplace magazine that you get, around your town. There's always somebody teaching out there. So, if you really want to learn something, there's someone who will teach you. Go online, ask your friends, who knows how to do this? Would you teach me? Oh, yes, of course, right? So find something that would make you feel joy and allow you to have some fun. Also, go on a retreat. And we're going to talk about the retreats in just a little bit because we've got a little bit of a surprise here at SheisMe. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter what you decide to do. Just do something. Anything that fills your soul with joy. When it makes you at the end of the day, when you lay down, it makes you think like, wow, that was fun. When's the last time you had that? So let's talk about pandemics, but not too long because we've all been through it. But I really have a funny thing to read you about pandemics because I found this article about a pandemic that happened in the 1600s, and I want to read you something from there. It's just phenomenal. It's just fantastic. It made me smile. So the one big circumstance that directly affects our ability to have fun is isolation, right? So if we're looking for a common source of depression and the stoppage of fun, Obviously, pandemics fit the bill. So, isolation is what this bloke, Burton, who I found, calls a suppression of festivities. Okay. And that is literally a recipe for disaster, as he puts it. So, somewhere in the 1600s, this doctor prescribed the following for melancholy, which is what they refer to as depression due to isolation. Melancholy. And it was a 2-year long plague of sorts, some kind of sickness that went around. But people were coming to this doctor to find out what to do for their melancholy. So he says, let them use hunting, sports, plays, jests, merry company, a cup of good drink now and then, hear music, and have such companions with who they are especially delighted. Merry tales or toys, drinking, singing, dancing, and whatever else may procure mirth. He also endorsed the following: feasting, singing, dancing, puppet plays, hobby horse, tabors, crowds, bagpipes, ball play, barley breaks, and whatever sports and recreations they liked best. Now, I had to look up tabors, but it's drumming. So, in his ideal world, he says none shall be overtired, but have their set times of recreations and holidays to indulge their humor, feasts, and merry meetings. And this was the remedy in the 16th century, and it bodes well for today, right? It's life balance. So we don't need to keep talking about that. We all know how it affected us and how we felt and blah, blah, blah. So let's move on. So thinking about the future or the past takes away your capacity to have fun. How does it do that? Well, mindfulness, it makes a huge difference in our capacity to have fun, because when we're mindful, we're living in the now, right now, right now, right now. When we're carrying something from the past, or when we're worrying about something from the future, we are not here now. So how could we have fun with what's happening right now, or even find the fun, if our vision is clouded by the past or the future, right? So write down, are you worrying about something in the past or in the future, or carrying around something from the past that prevents you from having fun because you think this happened to me in the past, so I'm not worthy of it, or this is going to happen in the future, so I can't have fun right now. Sometimes that happens to me. Sometimes I think, oh, I've got a big event that's coming up, so I can't go and do this fun thing, because what if I hurt myself? Then I can't do that thing. Um, and so I've learned to catch myself when I start having those thoughts and say, you know what, I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'm gonna have some fun. So why should I not have fun when the future thing hasn't even happened yet? So, are you worried about, like, finding the right mate, or buying the house, or, all of these things that you feel like you have to do because of society or your parents or your grandparents, messages that you've gotten. So that's also something that you could be worrying about: the future. I can't have fun right now because I haven't made my $1 million, or I haven't bought my house, or I haven't gotten married. I can't have fun right now. I'm focused. I've got to get this thing done. Or I'll have fun when I retire, or I'll have fun when when the house is bought. But when the house is bought, you're going to think of something else you need or want, or there's going to be another excuse why you can't have fun. So expectations is another reason why you can't have fun, right? And that's the future. People are expecting me to do this, and because of that expectation, I'm not going to be able to have fun right now. But when you hear me say these things, isn't it ridiculous? Like, all of it is so funny, but these are the thoughts that we have, and these are the things that stop us from having fun. My past was difficult. My relationship was terrible, whatever it is, and I just don't know how to have fun. I don't know when I'm going to be able to have fun. Fun costs too much money, whatever it is. There's always some excuse, right? So, one thing that I think is important for us to be able to have fun, but also something that has happened to us in the past that we might not even be aware of that could be curtailing our ability to have fun. It's being asked what you want to do when you grow up, when we were kids. So I'm sure you've heard it many, many times. And what this does is socialize us early to see things from the perspective of productivity and monetization. Right. So I want to grow up and I want to live on a farm. Oh no, you can't do that because you're not going to make any money. You need to go to college, you need to get a degree, and you need to have a career where you can, have lots of money and take care of, And even if you said, let's say, okay, I would like to work on a farm, I'm sure an adult would figure out the highest paying, most complicated job that you could do and still work on a farm, but make sure you got your money, right? So as a child, I just thought that that's how things worked. You turn your interests into a career. Okay. So, um, I mean, can you imagine that you're being taught that all of your interests, your activities, and your talents must be able to be monetized or they're worthless. So why are you putting your time and energy into drawing? Even if you're good at it, you're never going to make any money at it. You need to put away the drawing and you need to go to engineering school, or you need to put away the drawing and you need to go to school and get a real career, right? Those are the kind of messages we hear. Um, but also it's fun to play around if you're a kid, but not as an adult because you're expected to make money all the time. So life can't be fun when you grow up, so you better have fun now, right? And it's sort of a devastating transition that we have to make from just being able to have fun all the time to all of a sudden adulting. Like something's lost, something important is lost. It's life giving, that fun that we used to have. And sometimes we feel guilty for doing things purely for enjoyment, right? We're always on guard for we're wasting time, we're getting too distracted, we're too immersed in our own thing, we're not giving attention to the people around us who need it. And gone are the days that we could just lose ourselves into something of interest for hours, like we did when we were kids. But think about it. When's the last time you lost yourself like that without regard to what other people might think or what you should be getting done instead? So, grown up hobbies always have some sort of productive person in mind, right? For example, sports are fun, but they're exercise too. So, them into self improvement is a category for adult activities, okay? Or hobbies that you've mostly done for relaxation. People will say, oh, you like sewing? Why don't you start an Etsy shop? It's always about monetizing that hobby or that fun. And that kind of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? So the biggest lost for us, though, is how this framing just sort of leaches out the fun in our moment by moment lives. We have this idea that fun must be saved up for. We have to save money. We can't have fun right now because we're saving all our money to go to Disney World and then we'll have fun. And as adults, we sort of expect our life to be toil and to be fraught with difficulties and challenges and that kind of thing. And living a fun life is the way we associate either rich people who don't have to work or immature, lazy, entitled people who don't have any responsibilities. But we don't even know what a fun life looks like from a moment to moment basis. So don't feel bad if you really are in this type of framing because we've all been we've all been socialized to see things from the productive money-making possibilities of all of our activities. So, it's kind of how we survive in this capitalistic ecosystem that we live in, right? So let's think about what our role is in that ecosystem. Like every time we tell a kid that they should turn their activities into a career, we're participating. So let's not do that anymore. Let's not steal their joy from creative activities, right? Let's just stop framing our own lives that way, right? We can as adults have fun moment by moment. So I'm going to tell you, I have fun every single day. I laugh almost till I cry, sometimes till I cry. Sometimes, I have to run down the hall and go to the bathroom because somebody makes me laugh so hard. But that's just how I've chosen to how I've chosen to live my life, is surround myself with people like that. So you have busy lives, and we've forgotten how to have fun, but we don't want to pull our kids out of that. So let's start saying, hey, look how good you are at that and how much you enjoy it. That's it. Just enjoy that they enjoy it. It doesn't have to turn into anything. Okay. So when you watch a kid having fun and doing what they love, like, can't you just see the joy surrounding them? So I want you to ask yourself and write this down. What sparks joy? Okay. So if you don't know, it's okay, because many women, we don't know, right? We do what's expected of us, and we all get to that point in our lives where we go, I don't even know what I like. I don't even know what sparks joy. I don't even know what makes me happy or what would be fun. Because often, how many times, let me ask you this, how many times when you have a day to yourself, do you go, oh, good, now I can catch up on laundry and do the shopping and blah, 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 instead of thinking, wow, what can I do today that would be fun for me? No, we just immediately go to, how can I fill my day up with chores because I haven't been able to get those chores done the rest of the week. So what does fun do to your brain, right? Endorphins promotes an overall sense of well-being, improves brain function, right? Your neural pathways are rerouted and fluid. People who don't have any fun, and I really think this is kind of the reason why um, people's opinions have gotten so rigid lately, is because they stopped having fun, right? They stopped having fun. So that open-mindedness that used to be just like, oh, I'll listen to your idea and I'll listen to you. And, um, we stopped having fun. So those neural pathways aren't flowing and they aren't moving and they're just so rigid. So I want you to repeat after me. I can do this. I can have fun. Okay. Because I know you can. So, but how do you have fun with all this stuff piled on you, right? Well, I've been teaching women how to have fun for a pretty long time, and how to find themselves again through fun and creativity by, guess what? Improving the way that you think. Okay. So here are the 4 pillars to my program. So movement. Number 1 is movement. Anxiety raises stress hormones in our bodies, and movement allows the production and release of endorphins and dopamine and serotonin and all those things. So it doesn't matter what you're doing if you're moving around, if you're gardening, if you're painting, if you're out for a walk, if you're riding your bike, whatever. Just moving your body. You could do chair yoga. You can do you can do Tai Chi. It doesn't matter. Easy, soft, fluid movements will improve your mental health, make you happier. Okay. Mindfulness, bringing you back to now. That is super important. Bringing you back to now. And not judging it, not shaming it, not anything else. Just simple exercise is this. When you're brushing your teeth, notice how you're brushing. Watch yourself. And anytime you start thinking about something else, bring yourself back to brushing your teeth. Smell the toothpaste, feel how it feels in your mouth, how the brush feels on your teeth. what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're touching, all of that, bringing yourself back to now. Okay. Simple exercise you could do. Um, and then if those other thoughts do come in, just say, nope, I'm brushing my teeth. And don't condemn them. Don't do anything. Don't feel stupid. Don't call yourself names. Just brush your teeth and think about it. Okay. So movement, mindfulness. The third thing is meaningful engagement. And this is a huge piece of what we've been missing with the pandemic. And that is talking with people you can trust, being vulnerable and open, um, acts of kindness towards each other, physical touch. All of those things are meaningful engagement. And we tried it. We're doing it right now. We tried it online, but there's something different about doing it in person. And those are the things that we need as human beings. We need to have meaningful physical engagement with each other. And then mastery. So engaging your brain in something like creativity, no matter what it is, cooking, woodworking, painting, doesn't matter. But engaging your brain in something like that is the fourth pillar and is critical to good mental health. So I think I can help you. Okay. So how would you like to spend a few days with me having fun? Anyone? So what we're doing with She Is Me as we're going to start a retreat. And there was a wait list for this retreat, but what we're going to do is we're going to work through these pillars. We're going to spend hours in deep concentration, absorbed by the flow of creativity. We're going to spend 4 days together playing, learning mindfulness, experiencing meaningful engagement, mastering a craft, and immersing ourselves in creativity. All of that plus that plus that plus that plus that equals fun. Fun, fun, fun. If you don't believe me that fun is good for you, here are 5 reasons why science suggests you should have more fun. It improves your relationships. Number 1, when we laugh together, it sends this nonverbal message that says we're alike and we share values. Okay. Having fun makes us smarter. I talked about that earlier. A way to increase our memory and concentration is to have more fun. Fun reduces stress. So we get all of those yummy brain chemicals squirting into our bodies when we have fun, and the cortisol relaxes and stops, you know, just causing our thyroids to, you know, overact and all those things. So we're just having fun and we're having all those good chemicals instead of those bad chemicals. And not that cortisol is bad, it really helps us with our fight or flight um, reaction in our bodies, but we don't want that anymore. We want serotonin and endorphins and all those wonderful things. Okay. And like they say, laughter is really the best medicine. Finding more fun in physical activity balances your hormone levels. So if you've been sitting around for 2 years and you're going through menopause or perimenopause or something like that, and your hormone levels are a little out of whack, then finding more fun in physical activity will definitely benefit you. And 5, it can make you more energetic and youthful. So when you look at people who live longer and look more youthful, these people are people who know how to have fun. I guarantee it. So let's go back to the questions I asked you to write down. Number 1, when's the last time you had fun? Number 2, what does it mean for you to have fun? Number 3, is it fear or is it a message that you've been taught that you're holding on to, a fake belief that you're holding on to that doesn't really resonate with you? Are you carrying around the past or worrying about the future? What sparks joy for you? Did you write these down? So I want you to, if you couldn't find the answer to any of these, you need to get over to the She Is Me retreat and sign up for the wait list. If you're living in fear, trying new things, or worrying about the past or the future, get over there and sign up. There's so much juiciness in this retreat, in these retreats. These events are going to take place in different locations. So as soon as we get them posted, you'll be able to find one near you. And that's even better because you don't have to worry about how you're going to get there and, so on and so forth. And when you leave, that you'll have you've made these connections, so you'll have people around you that are close who you've made a real connection with. And signing up for the wait list puts you on the list to get updates about events, future information, how you need to plan, on and on and on. That's SheisMeConference.com retreat. I should say .com/retreat. You could also find it in the menu on the website. But we're gonna really practice those 4 pillars. We're gonna create. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna scream. We're gonna dance. We're gonna move. We're gonna learn to be mindful and let things go. We're going to have meaningful connections, and it's going to be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And the best part, we're going to have fun. Thank you for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing the wait list for the retreats, and just look forward to a lot more from me about having fun, how you can join us in many different ways. And I hope that you can find one way to have fun before the night is over. Don't forget to be mindful when you brush your teeth tonight. Thank you so much. And we are going to be starting tomorrow at 7 a.m. with Lourdes Torres and the Royal Alchemist, the girl who forgot she was born queen. Tomorrow's going to be another exciting day. I can't wait. Until then, thank you all, and thank you from She Is Me.